one of the big projects that I'm working on and that is tied to a bunch of different things is our redevelopment agency. You know, one of the last actions that former Supervisor took in December was having the board pass the sale of bonds for the redevelopment agency to about $50 or $60 million. I think it came out to $50 million. This is the largest bond sale that the redevelopment agency has ever carried out. And they did it for two reasons, or more, but I'll say just two. One reason is there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and we got a lot of work sort of in the pipeline, so we need that money. The second is the state of California, in its effort to find a way to close its budget, is trying to find money anywhere it can. And redevelopment agencies become a very attractive source of funding for the state of California. In fact, in November, the state took $2.2 million of our redevelopment money up to Sacramento. It wasn't the first time they did it, it was actually the 8th time that they did it, but the previous 7 times that they did it, they gave the redevelopment agency something. They extended the life of the redevelopment agency, they loosened some rules. This time, they took it and they had what our redevelopment agency director, Betsy Lindbergh, called the death penalty clause, which is, if you don't give it to us, we could shut down your agency. Not taking into consideration that we have contracts, that we can do work or anything. So by actually selling the bonds and getting projects out, we actually get to keep the money. Your tax money gets to stay here in our community. But the fact that we have tens of millions of dollars of redevelopment money to spend is good, and making sure that we spend it wisely is really important. In November of this year, the county has to do a 5-year plan for what we're going to do with the redevelopment agency funds. We're required to do that every 5 years. And I see this as an opportunity for people to really weigh in about how they want to work, how they want the redevelopment agency to make an impact in the community. I've heard lots of ideas during my campaign. I have ideas myself. I'm sure there are a lot even better ideas that are out there. And so one of the things that we're working with the RDA on is to do a very involved process where we go out and seek comment from the community. We're in the process of putting together a plan that will be a series of meetings over 9 months so we can come up with a good 5-year plan for the redevelopment agency. And to figure out what we can do in terms of our infrastructure, in terms of supporting services that help people here in the community. What can we be doing about public safety, youth services, recreation, and economic development? As I say, I've got some ideas about that. I'm happy to talk about it, but I don't think my ideas have to be the best ideas. Some of the best ideas might be in this room. And so we're going to be doing meetings around the district over a couple times. And not only will we be doing meetings, but we will also be having some kind of interface on the internet so people can actually, we'll be taping some of the presentations, and we'll have some survey questions so people can interact with it that way. Because I found that people relate to information in all sorts of different ways. Some people liked it when I came to the door. Some people liked it when they got a piece of mail. Some people watched me on YouTube. So whatever that combination is, if we want the greatest participation in our community, we should try different ways to reach them. So I'm committed to doing that, and I'm very pleased that the RDA hasn't run away screaming yet when I brought this up to them. And so we're putting together an organizing committee to think about how to make these meetings dynamic, and we'll be coming out to the schedule. We expect that the first 2 series of meetings will happen in April and maybe late May or June, with a bigger meeting in September. And I see that as a jumping off point to do some real community planning in Live Oak, Pleasure Point, and SoCal. And so this is just the beginning of a process where we seek consultation with the community. There's a couple of projects that are going on right now that I'll just mention because I know people are interested in them. One is right across the fence from the Grange here is a 4-acre site that's going to become a park. Chanticleer Park has been in the discussion stage for a long time. There have been 2 community meetings that have already taken place about it, and so the planning is sort of in full gear. But it includes things like a tennis court, a play area for kids. There's an old house on there that's going to be a public facility of some kind. We don't know exactly how we're going to use it. There's going to be an open space area. There might be a bicycle track for kids, and there's going to be a dog park. And so these are all exciting developments, and to have a 4-acre park anywhere is a big deal, and to have it here in Live Oak is great. And if you're interested in knowing more about that, I'm happy to answer questions, and if you sign up, we'll let you know when the next meeting is. Also, which I think is actually March 3rd or 4th, so just let me know, I have it in my calendar. The other work that we're doing right now is the Moran Park, what we're going to be doing around the lagoon there at Moran. And there have been lots of different discussions about what's going to happen, where trails would be, how to make that more accessible location. And we have a meeting set up, I think, for February 25th. Again, if you check with me, there's a lot of things on my calendar these days, and I don't remember exactly everything. But we're going to start the community planning process about that. And to me, this is a time for people to really weigh in, and we shouldn't have the same 10 or 20 people who always come to these meetings. I'd like to see a lot of new faces. A lot of new faces here tonight. There should be a lot of people involved in these discussions about how we use our money for parks. So the next 4 years that I'm in office, there's a lot of work to do. We face really critical issues about our state budget, our county budget, affected by the state budget. I believe that we have to make sure that we maintain our basic level of services. We have to think creatively about how we can effectively provide public safety services here in Live Oak. We've got to make sure that the social net of services that we've set up for so many years here in Santa Cruz County are available now when people need it for the first time. There are many people who are seeking services who never contemplated that before, and we have a responsibility to make sure that that safety net is there for them because they paid into the system. We're going to need to find a lot of balance in the kind of work that we do, and we're going to have to get used to a smaller government. To do that, we have to be very efficient, and we're going to have to work very hard in order to make that happen. But we have resources here in the 1st District that allow us to be the leaders in Santa Cruz County, and I want to encourage you to be involved and be part of that leadership team to help us decide what our future looks like. Because it shouldn't just be 5 people up on the 5th floor of the county building on 7101 Ocean Street. It should be the entire community that weighs in about what our community should look like. I'm really interested in working with you, and I'm really interested in hearing from you. So I'll end my remarks now, and I just want to hear your questions about what's going on for you or what you want to know about from your county supervisor. So thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you.